Hi everyone, welcome to my live session. Just exercise patience while we wait for other people to join. I really love to hang out with friends and family, to catch up with people I've not seen for a long time. Kindly exercise patience. Please do well to share this live if you have access to the link so other people can join. I really love to connect with undergraduate students or people who are almost finishing up with their school, people who would want to pursue graduate school and maybe they need one form of assistance or the other, especially mentorship on how to apply to schools, how to get scholarships. So if you have this group of people in your list, I would like you to invite them to be my friends, to follow my page. I'm starting something big for undergraduate students and even graduates, especially those who love academics, who would want to continue. Kindly exercise patience while we wait for other people. Please say hi to me if you are here, especially if you're an old-time friend or you're just joining my group or page for the first time. Say hi to me. You can use the comment section to drop any questions you have while we wait for people to join. If you would want me to answer any question you have regarding getting admissions abroad, going to graduate school to do masters or PhD, kindly drop your questions on the comment section. I'll try my best to answer all your questions, and it's actually not going to end here. I'm looking out for people to mentor for graduate school application. So if you have questions, if you would want to join, yes, the mentorship is going to be free. It's going to be free, but I need serious people who are ready to do the work. So you don't have to pay me for anything, but you actually have to work hard because this requires a lot of time. But I will tell you, it's possible to get admission even for the next academic session, which will be starting early next year and even by August next year. So if you have any question, kindly use the comment section to drop your question while we wait for other people to join. If you also have other questions that are beyond graduate school application, you can do well to drop your questions. Do you have questions regarding graduate school application, getting scholarships to do your graduate school abroad? Drop your questions. I'll do well to attend to your questions. And then I'm actively looking for people to mentor. So if you have good grades, it mustn't be first class or second class, even if you have a third class, but you are ready to put in the work, your best to do the work, then I guarantee you, by the help of God, that it is possible to get admission to good schools that are ready to offer you scholarship. Yes, Prestige Gift, I can see your question. So like I said, this admission I'm talking about is fully funded admissions to abroad, Canada, USA, UK, fully funded admissions. And what that means is you don't have to pay. And again, if you're asking about the application process, yes, this is what my mentorship is, part of what I'm going to be giving to you. So there are ways you can apply to schools without paying the huge application fee, which is usually a problem for especially graduates in Nigeria who doesn't even have job. So you can apply free to these schools. Please do well to drop your questions. I will try my best to answer your questions, and then I will also be following up those people who actually show that they are serious and they want to give this a try. So US admission schools will be kicking off from September. So the next application cycle is going to be kicking off by September. So for the fall admission cycle, so what fall means is you'll be starting your studies by August, and most schools in US start taking applications from September. So if you want to try this application cycle, this is the right time to start putting your documents and applying, getting all the things you need ready for this application. And I'm actively looking for people to mentor, to coach, to help to get these admissions. And like I said, this is free of charge. You won't have to pay me anything, but you just have to be ready to do the work, put in your best, and I assure you, by the help of God, it is possible. I'm still waiting for more questions. Yes, Prestige. After the application, what of visa money, flight tickets? Okay, first things first, let's start with getting you the admission, and then you can talk about the other things. But I must also tell you, some scholarships are able to fund your flights and visa fees. But then, even if you have to pay it by yourself, it's something worth doing. So like, let's get the admission first and then leave the other things for the future to take care of. If you have other questions, I would like you to drop your questions. Hi, Oroma, my good friend. Thank you so much for all you've been doing for me and for this page. I really appreciate. Okay, so like I said, while I wait for your questions, the next application cycle for most US schools will be kicking off by September. And there are documents you want to get ready before this time. One of them is what we call the statement of purpose or personal statement. So this is a document that will actually guarantee you admission if you do your best in writing it very well. It's just usually 1.5 pages document, but that document can go a long way to getting you admission. Another document you want to take serious is your recommendation letter. So like most people say, recommendation letter may give you like 50% chance of getting admission. So you want to start on time to get these documents ready. Okay, yeah, Prestige is still asking more questions. She said if they take care of all that, maybe I start paying gradually when I'm there. I beg, count me in. Sure. You don't have to worry about visa fee. You don't have to worry about flight ticket for now. First things first, getting the admission should be the first in your list. And like I said, some scholarships will take care of these things. And even if you don't get a scholarship that can take care of your visa fee, I bet you it's something you would want to try your best to get if finally you get the admission. So talking about the recommendation letter, it's one letter that is very, very important for your graduate school application. So you need at least 2 or 3 recommenders to write about you, especially if you are a graduate and you have a first degree or a second degree. You want to have some of your past lecturers write a recommendation letter on your behalf, especially talking about you being a good student and your potentials. So the recommendation letter is very important, and you don't just want to have anybody write it anyhow. And I know how busy lecturers are, so the earlier you start making contact with your lecturers, the better. So some people have all other documents ready, but towards the deadline of the application they want to submit, that's when they start running around to get their lecturers to write recommendation letters for you. And guys, like, this can be a huge challenge. You may miss out on deadlines just because of one recommendation letter. And like I said, the recommendation letter is a very important document you have to submit. So I've talked about recommendation letter, I've talked about your personal statement, which is one of the things I will be teaching you, guiding you to prepare if you finally make it to my mentorship list. Another document is your transcript, your academic transcript. So if you have a first degree or a master's degree, you have to start applying for your transcripts if you don't have this already. And then when I say transcript, so most schools will accept your student copy, so you don't need to apply for transcript for each school. Just having your student copy ready with you is good, is like you are good to go. So during the application, all you need to do is upload a PDF copy of your transcript. So it's called the unofficial document, and when you are finally ready, when they offer you admission, then they would require that your school send them the official transcripts. So you want to start applying for your transcripts, because this one also is like, it can be a problem. Some Nigerian schools are not fast with preparing transcripts, so you want to start on time to prepare and to start applying for your transcripts. I'm still waiting for more questions, hoping I've not missed out on any question. Okay, guys, bring in your questions, and also know that from your questions I am also checking out for people to mentor. It's not easy to see someone wanting to dedicate his or her time to mentor you, to make sure you get this. So you really have to demonstrate that you are serious. Forget about your degree, if it's not first class or second class or third class. You don't even need all this. Yes. And another thing I must say is, like, some people think you must have to do masters before you enroll for a PhD. That is something some people are yet to get to know. So like with your first degree, a BSc or a BTech, you are fully qualified for a fully funded PhD admission into any school in the US, Canada, and even other countries. So not having a master's degree is not a limitation. With your BSc or BTech, you are fully qualified for a fully funded PhD program. And the truth is that most schools are actually looking for PhD students to fund. Yes, when you get in, you get to understand why. So they prefer to fund PhD students. They prefer PhD students to master students. That doesn't mean master students are not, like, they are not being given admission, but the truth is that most PIs or people you get to work with, supervisors or schools, they prefer a student who is enrolled for a 5-year PhD program or 4-year PhD program, because within that 5 years you actually an asset to the department and to the school. So they are ready to fund you for all the time you have to study. Yes, so this is something you must know. You don't need a master's degree to apply for a PhD program. With your first degree, you are good to go. I am still waiting for more questions. And then if you also want to be among the first people whom I will be coaching, this is also the time to indicate your interest. So drop in the comment section if you would want mentorship with your graduate school application. And like I said, this is without any cost. This is just a way of giving back to the society. Yes, so another document, or I may not call it document, but it's something you want to start getting ready if you want to apply to schools, is what we call cold email. So like you send a cold email to a professor telling him or her that you want to enroll or apply to the school, and you would want to be supervised or work under his or her supervision. So sending a cold email to a professor actually gives you, like, helps you to get the admission. So like some schools or departments, they would prefer to accept students who already have somebody open, or who is ready to have them join his or her lab, or what we call a research team. So if you have a lab that is willing to accept you and have you work with them, then your application is almost 100% guaranteed. So some people get rejected not because they are not qualified or because they are not good students, but they get turned down because there is nobody ready to work with them. So doing a research, like trying to know what the faculties or professors in the school you want to apply to, their areas of research, reading about their research, and then preparing an email to send to them to tell them how you love their research and would want to work with them, will actually help you get your admission. So even if the school likes you, the department likes you, they still need you to have a place to do your research, because PhD is all about research. It's not about taking courses or going for classes. You have to do your research, and you have to join a research group. So getting someone who is ready to adopt you, or who is ready to offer you that place, will actually give you more than 80% chances of getting admission. Yes, somebody says Canada is her dream country and she's interested in the mentorship. Yeah, good to go. Yes, I'm also waiting for more people to indicate interest. Like I said, like this requires a lot of time, so I may have to start with just 5 people. So you have to convince me that you are ready to put in your best and do the work. And I tell you, this is something you want to try. You want to, like, going to a graduate school, studying abroad will actually help you become better in whatever area of research or whatever area of study you are. There are so many things that we need to take care of back home. So talk about cancer research, talk about whatever discipline you are in. Doing a study abroad gives you opportunity to be very good at these things, and when you go back home, there are so many things, so many problems to solve, and cancer research is one of them. Good evening, my good friend. So Drop your questions if you have any questions concerning graduate school application. And like I said, you must be ready to work. The next application cycle begins in September, and you want to start getting these documents I mentioned ready, and you actually need someone to guide you. So just like I mentioned, your personal statement will go a long way to tell what kind of student you are and your potentials to succeed as a graduate school. So you want to treat that document like after God, your life depends on it. It's just 1.5 pages document, but yes, it is something you want to do very well. And then your recommendation also, like back home, what we know about recommendation letter is somebody recommending you for a job or saying you're a good person, I've known you for some time. But when we talk about graduate school, recommendation letter is way beyond this. So your recommender has to convince the admission committee that whomever he or she is recommending to them for admission has the potentials to succeed, has the potentials to continue and not back out from research after so many failed experiments. You have persistence, you are a team worker, you are somebody who can adapt to different cultures, who can work with people. So like, it's not the everyday recommendation letter, you know. So that's why you have to give it time, like you have to start on time. And also, don't get overwhelmed with all of these documents. They are something very easy to do. I know how overwhelming graduate school application can be, especially when you even think about the huge application fees, like a school asking you to pay $80 for application, or $75 or $120, and when you convert it to naira, you know how much it is. But I tell you, one of the secrets to graduate school admission is that you can get what we call application fee waiver. Yes, so many schools are ready to give you a waiver, so you submit your application without paying a dime. So don't get discouraged when you check out a school and you see $120, $150. So even you writing the code email to a professor can also be another way to get your admission submitted free of charge, because if he or she sees you as a very good student to work with, them he is more than willing to pay your admission fee. And also, so many schools are ready to have you submit your admission free of charge without paying anything. So if you are thinking about graduate school, don't let any aspect of it or any of the documents overwhelm you. Yes, another thing that actually overwhelm people is when you talk about English language requirements. So I have to tell you that Nigeria has made it to the list of so many schools as an English speaking country. So you having your first degree from a Nigerian university qualifies you to as an English speaking student. So you don't need to worry about all the big exams like the TOEFL, IELTS. Yes, some schools still require this, but so many schools have included Nigeria as an English speaking country, so you don't need to write those exams. There's also another exam that scares people, that's called GRE. So this exam, some schools still insist on it, that you have to write GRE to prove that beyond your certificates you can still reason well, you're a good student. Yes, it is something you also want to consider to prepare for on time and write, especially for people like, for example, if you are studying agricultural economics, any of those social science courses, some schools still insist that you do GRE. While like people who are in STEM, like you're doing science, engineering, some of these schools have dropped this requirement. So, and in some schools it's optional. But if you also want to like improve or increase your chances of getting admission, you may consider writing GRE. and if you have to write GRE exam, you have to give it like 2 or 3 months to prepare for this exam. But writing a GRE is not compulsory, and it's not a guarantee that you get admission. What matters is how you are able to prepare your documents and turn in a very strong application, and also your ability to secure a supervisor or a faculty who is interested in you, your ability to secure a place for you in someone's lab or someone's research team will actually go a long way to giving you admission beyond whatever documents or whatever qualifications you have. So if you have more questions, I may not be able to explain everything here, but those people who will make it to my list of mentees will have one-on-one sessions, and I am going to guide you from day one to the end of your application. And then another thing about graduate school, it does not end at just getting admission. So another thing is what we call post-admission process. So preparing your visa, going for your visa interview, going for buying your tickets, especially the visa interview. Yeah, so many people have fully funded PhD programs, but because they don't know how to prepare for visa interviews, they get turned down at the embassy. So you want to also prepare for your visa. This is one of the things I will be giving out to my mentees. So this is my way of giving back to the society, and this is actually the first of the pilot projects. So it's something I'm going to take serious, because if I successfully coach 5 people, then the circle keeps expanding. So if you have to make it to my list, you have to be a very dedicated student, and like I said, you must not have a first class, you must not have second class, 2-1, but having this will actually increase your chances. Yes, I'm not saying that with a very bad results I guarantee you admission, but I'm trying to say that beyond whatever qualification you have as your graduate degree certificate, you can actually package yourself very well and get admission. Yeah, I've seen people with 2 to 3rd class getting fully funded PhD and master's program abroad. Like, I'm not exaggerating this. So many schools are ready to take in even people with 3rd class or 2-2, but beyond your certificate, you have to prove to them that you have all the potentials, that investing in you will not be a mistake. That's like you're trying to tell them not to judge you by what you have on your certificate. And to be able to prove this, you have to work hard on getting your documents to be very, very good. Okay, I seem to be the only person bringing up. Could it be like people have not considered this before now? So if you have questions, I wouldn't want this video to stay very long, so I will just pause now and take questions. Good evening, my good friend Destiny. Happy to see you. So even if you are a parent, or you don't want to go to school, you just want to do business, or just you're okay with where you are, please do well to share my page with the people in your list, especially the undergraduate students. There are so many things these people can do for our country if only they are given the opportunity. So we have to think of how to help people. We have a lot of good students, we have a lot of good graduates in Nigeria. People have studied so many courses and they feel like going to school to study these courses was actually a waste of time. But like I tell you, when you see yourself, like you travel outside beyond the shores of Nigeria, you get to appreciate whatever course you study. Like studying agric science in Nigeria, like some people want to hide their certificate, but it will interest you to know that these people are number one when you talk about doing research in Canada or in USA. People who study agricultural science, they are like sought after. This is because like more than 50% of US is covered with grass, whatever they call it, tufted grass. So they need these people to do this research that will keep maintaining their environment. But like if you study agricultural science in Nigeria, sometimes you want to go back to school. If you study history in Nigeria, I'm not trying to let down on anybody, but there are some courses, like myself, I studied microbiology, and at the time I was feeling like studying microbiology could actually be a mistake, because I wanted to do medicine, I wanted to do medical laboratory science, but I ended up studying microbiology. And at the time, even though this was a course I loved so well, like people who know me in school know how crazy I was about microbiology. If you are my friend, I must give you a name that is like maybe a bacteria, you must have to bear that name. So this is how crazy I was about microbiology. But at a time when it was time to look for a job, it was like I was almost regretting doing microbiology. And then even when I wanted to enroll for my master's, I was almost regretting my life, because I felt if I miss getting medical laboratory science for my undergraduate, I had to finish it, because I had people, mentors, who told me like you can still go for medical laboratory science after your first degree. So when I finished my first degree, I wanted to do a fellowship to become a medical lab scientist, but getting to buying the form, I found out that they had stopped that in Nigeria. Like you can no longer become a fellow of medical laboratory science if you did not like study that as your first degree. At that point, like I felt like throwing away my certificates. I had to start teaching in a secondary school. Like, and what you are teaching, like even if you study microbiology and you go for a teaching a teaching interview, like in a high school, you will be competing with other people to teach biology. And you study microbiology, they will tell you that microbiology is not biology. So your chances of getting that teaching position is also restricted, like limited, because you studied microbiology. They would rather take people who studied biology. So this is even people who study biochemistry, and you go to teach in a secondary school, they tell you you did not study pure chemistry, you did not study pure biology, so they have to pick those people before you. So if you study biochemistry, you study microbiology, you study any course that is not a professional course in Nigeria, sometimes you see people regretting going to school. But this is just what is not, like if you check other countries, they have gone beyond this phase. If you check so many schools in the US and in Canada, they are looking for chemistry people. So if you have any chemistry background, whether you studied biochemistry or you studied pure chemistry or anything that has to do with chemistry, like you are hot cake. I used to like be jealous of anybody who has chemistry as his foundation, whether it's biochemistry or chemistry. But this is the same course that so many people are regretting doing. So whatever course it is, history, fine arts, whatever course, because why I'm mentioning these courses is because I at least I went to a school, a university, and I know how we rate people, like even myself, how we rate ourselves. Most of us ended up where we were because the dream course we couldn't get them. Medical lab science, medicine, engineering. And this is also one mistake parents make. they try to push their children to do medicine, to do any professional course, just because of the fear that their future is not guaranteed. So if also you are a parent watching me or listening to me, I want to also encourage you to allow your children to do whatever course they feel they have passion for. You don't know what God has planned for them. So pushing someone whom God has made a path for, that maybe after his or her first degree is going to travel out and do research in biochemistry, and then you are forcing such person to go into medicine, you are risking the person's future. So allow your students to do whatever course. Their life doesn't depend on that first degree. In fact, if you ask me, first degree is just to build a foundation. Yes, at a time when I was almost regretting going to university, what really consoled me and made me happy, which is also what I would like to encourage younger ones about, when you go to school, don't just focus on whatever course you are studying. Try to expand, try to build yourself in the area of skill. Try to chase God. I don't know how else to say this. When I was almost regretting going to school, when I remembered how I chased God, when I remembered what God did for me in FUTO, Federal University of Technology, Owerri, when I remembered the leadership positions I took up just because I was in a school fellowship, when I remember the times we gathered together to pray, all the prayers, all the studying the word, all the things that God has put in us, I felt that was actually why I went to a school to do a first degree. So life is beyond whatever degree you want your child to do. Let your child know why he or she is in that school. Let your child know that it's beyond getting certificates. Let your child pursue God and then work very hard, because your first degree is actually like you buying a ticket for your future. So some people, they say don't mind them, they want to make first class, they want to make 2-1, they're always reading. Life is not all about it. Yes, life is not all about certificates. Life is all about God, if you ask me. But then your future may also be dependent on your certificate, whatever certificates you make. They used to say that opportunity, so you have opportunity and you are not prepared for it, that's failure. So you have to prepare. You don't know what opportunity will come your way at any time. Someone may just pick you up and ask you, do you have a certificate? I can get you this admission in this school abroad. And maybe the school requires that you make a GPA of 3.0, and at that time you don't have it. So while you are in school, especially the undergraduate students, read as if your life depends on it. Go to 9 classes as if your life depends on it. Pursue that 1 grade, 1 mark, as if your life depends on it. When you are in the exam hall, write it as if all your life depends on it. And when it's time to do anything that has to go, do it as if your life depends on it, because your life actually depends on it. And another thing you must know, God knows everybody's hearts. I'm sorry, this is but that's my life. So you can't expect me to give out what I don't have. So sorry, I was about saying something which I'm almost forgetting. So I'm trying to encourage you to pursue good grades, and also don't forget God. Yes, God knows your motive. So you want to travel to Canada, you want to travel to USA, you want to travel to UK. God is looking at your heart. What is motivating you? It's not just about money. What do you want to do for God? What do you want to do for the society? Are you going to go to Canada and then God will lose you? So while you have all this, you are thinking about it, you're also preparing yourself. Some people have gone to Canada and that's the end. Their family, they cannot connect with them. Their church people cannot even account for their life. So there are so many things out there when you talk about going to abroad. Some of them you don't even want to go. But if you invest your time in preparing yourself while you are in the higher institution, prepare yourself You don't know where God is taking you to. Your life is not just in that one room where your family raised you. Your life is not just in that hostel. I remember when I was in Futo, like we have 12 people. Like one of my roommates just said hi to me. 12 people in one room, 2 people on one bunk. Like we thought life was just all about this, so we just tried to, we didn't know what God had planned for us. So like you are in a higher institution, your parents have done the best to put you in that place. They have just given you a key to like make out something out of your life, work out your salvation. And one way you can do this is by pursuing God. Like invest part of your time in school to build yourself, get virtues that will help you, such that even when you travel to this school that you want to go to, you won't go there and start misbehaving. You won't go there and start, like, so many things are going to look you in the face and tell you, we know where you are from. You are from Nigeria. You are from this place. We know you guys love God. You guys, everything about you is God, and we are not ready to allow you to do that here. So what will you do if you find yourself in such a position? It's out of what you have built, out of what you have allowed God to build in you, out of what you have allowed God to invest in you. That's what will help you to thrive in those times. Hi, my beloved brother, the precious, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for always being there. So guys, back to graduate school application. I'm still waiting for more people. If you would want one-on-one mentorship, from writing and preparing your documents to applying to the school, helping you get application fee waiver, helping you even know how to approach your lecturers to get your recommendation letter, helping you know how to apply for your transcripts, helping you know how to search for schools. Yes, a list of schools that you can apply to, like how to search for different professors, so we call them faculty, how to get to the faculty's page and check out their research and then begin to communicate with them. You can even send a cold email and then a professor will ask you to have a one-on-one meeting with him or her. Like these people, the research in the US and Canada, the faculties are actually the people who get the money. So some of them don't even have to wait for the school to check your application documents and accept you. So when they see that you're a potential student, they engage you with their research, they talk with you, they have Zoom calls with you, and they feel that this is a good student they want to work with. Like that reduces the stress for you. That's why I take cold emailing very seriously. Like so many people who have gotten graduate school admission fully funded was because of a cold email they sent. I remember a friend saying he sent a cold email and after 2 minutes he got a response that changed his life forever. And then we used to say that all you need is one yes. So when I say cold email, you may have to send cold email to 50 faculties or 50 professors. That's not to discourage you. It's like it's something you want to do. Somebody like me, when I know I applied to teach biology to like more than 20 schools. In fact, after my NYSC, I was in Ondo State. I went to all the high schools you can think of in Ondo, like good schools in Akure. Even schools that were to pay me 30,000 naira, I was submitting application, I was doing interview, and I was getting turned down because I did not have a certificate in education and all the excuses. So like telling you that you have to send just one email to like 50 professors should not discourage you. And now out of all those 50, even if you get admission in 20 schools, just one, you end up going to one. So we used to say that just one yes, all you need is one yes, and your life, like, you will never regret, or you won't even remember all the stress. So you just have to prepare. So if you need guidance on how to get to the schools and the faculty's page. These are things that are just open in the internet, down to the email address of every lecturer in every school you want to apply to in Canada or US. Their email numbers and email address are there on the website. What they research about is there on the website. Everything about them is there on the website. You are free to send them email at any time. You are free to talk to them. And one secret I have to also tell you is that, you see, asking questions back home may be like people will get offended when you ask them 1 or 2 questions. But like when you travel abroad, if you like, write people 50 emails in a day, they will do their best to reply. 50 send anything you just want to ask. You just want to ask them anything. I don't even know what to say. Just write that email. Give them 1 hour, 2 hours. The next day you are getting a response. So when I'm saying send cold emails to these people, I'm saying that they are going to respond to you. It's either they will tell you yes or they will tell you no. Except if they are not, like, because some of these people, they have thousands of emails, but they still try their best to respond to people. So you want to be guided on how to get to this school's website, and then how to navigate to where all the faculties are, even down to all the students in any school. Their informations are there. It's not hidden. It's not something hidden. So you want to start like checking the internet, checking out the people, because you need to really understand what the person is researching about, and think of how to connect yourself, how to connect your background, your education, your research interests, your future interests. You need to be able to align it with their own interests, and you can't do this if you don't have much information about them, down to the kind of papers they have published. That is not to get you discouraged. Like, these are simple and easy things. They've made it so easy for you, so you don't need to get overwhelmed with all of this. Yeah, I made a post. If you would want money, if you would want research card. I know some people are like, do give away. So I've been teasing some friends. I'll be like, Daddy, do give away now. This one is the best giveaway I can give you for now. But like, I know, but sometimes recently I've just been thinking about undergraduate students. I know when I was in photo, so sometimes I have 100 naira. Like, I have 100 naira. Sometimes I don't even have food to eat. That was when things were cheap. Like, you could buy spare pack Indomie for like 40 naira or 50 naira. But now, I can't imagine it. Like, 1 carton of Indomie is selling for 2,500. Sorry, some people will be like, she does not know. Yes, 1 carton of Indomie is like 20,000 naira. I can't even, like, I can't buy that. In fact, I've stopped eating Indomie. I don't eat Indomie again. So sometimes I wonder how students are still coping with this. Like, it's not easy. So I'm a friend to anybody who loves education. I will try my best to give out to the community in the little way I can, as God helps me. So don't get discouraged if you don't see me doing recharge card giveaway. Like, I had to pause and like, is this what your society needs? Is this what these younger ones need? So I'm so happy to see a lot of girls that I grew up with when I was small. Like, now they are my friends on Facebook. They are following me, and I'm seeing them, like, they are big girls and big boys, and I feel so happy seeing them, and they are doing well. So when I look at them, I'm like, is this what these younger ones need? They need something more than this. So I'm going to be doing recharge card giveaway. Like, sometimes you play card with me, and then you play games and you get recharge card. Sometimes I can just post and say, what do you want? 2K, urgent 2K, 3K. Yes, I will be doing all that. In fact, at the end of this video, I am going to be giving away 2,000 naira to 5 people. But these people have to be students, undergraduate students. I'm so sorry today, I'm just talking to students. So if you are an undergraduate student, I want to give you 2,000 naira. So you will share this video. I'm going to post it on my page. Please don't get discouraged when I ask you to share or like I'm not so after the money. I want to reach out to people. I want to reach out to people, and you're also helping me grow my page. So don't be angry. So this is one way you can help me. So if you're an undergraduate student, you will share the video with your group or your friends, and then when you share it, what else? I need to give you a task to do so that at least you know you're working for the 2K. So you will share this video, and then you will comment. Like, you will tell me your school. Oh, I don't know. Please, if you have suggestions on how I can do this, so I have one. I want to be sure that whoever I give the 2K is an undergraduate student. So when I post this video, if you have suggestions on how I can screen the 5 people I want to give this 2,000 naira to screen them, to be sure they are undergraduate students. Like, this one is strictly for undergraduate students. If you have suggestions on how I can do this, you can please drop in the comment section. I want to do this between now and tomorrow. Yes, subsequently I will be coming live to continue this mentorship I have started. It's a time to help Nigerian students, graduates, to achieve their dream of getting admission in Canada, USA, UK, or any country of their choice by the help of God. It's time to give back to the society. It's time to allow God to use me to help somebody, to mentor somebody, and to achieve God's plan for somebody and for a family. Thank you so much. I don't want this video to exceed 1 hour. Sorry if I'm not able to reply to your comments. I decided to just do live to talk to everybody. So if I don't reply to your comments, please don't be angry. And then remember to share this video, especially if you are a parent and you have undergraduates, you have graduates especially. So not just undergraduates, I have information to really give them so they can prepare for what the future holds by making sure they work very hard while they are in school, and also allowing God to build them for wherever He wants to take them. And then for the graduates who are almost feeling discouraged, who are like, why did I study this course, who are like, I don't have anybody, I don't have an uncle who can give me 1 million to start a business, how do they even get scholarship, I don't have a first class, I don't have anything. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. God is seeing you. God of the mountain top is also the God of the valley. At wherever you are, wherever location you are, the God of the mountain is also the God of the valley. The God of the mountain, this is one message that has been helping me through this year. Like, the God of the mountain, the God of the rich is also the God of the poor. The God of the mountain is also the God of the valley. So wherever you are, location, whatever location you are, whatever condition you are, sometimes, if I remember, when I was doing series of interviews, like I will come home to do interview, and then please 1 minute, I need to, when I have interview to do and there's no light, and I'm like, oh God, what kind of life is this? I didn't know that God was there with me. Like, you miss your interview because you don't even have data. I didn't know that God of the mountain, the God of the valley, was there with me. So whatever location you are, wherever you are, don't think that is like, you look at yourself and you say, what can come out of this life? Can anything good come out of this? What? You don't have any uncle who calls you to check up on you. You don't have any auntie. You don't have any friend. Nobody cares about you. If only you know that God cares about you. If only you know that God is seeing you. God is smiling at you. Whatever condition it is, don't give up. Don't give up. They used to say that it's over when you say it's over. If you say it's not over, then it's not over. If you look at yourself and say, I may not have anybody, but I have God. See, God is all you need to achieve whatever He has planned for you. You need people. You need people, I must tell you. But you need God more than you need people. So don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. Don't give up. We can't give up. Like, giving up is not in our blood. Even if you are not also a Christian, but you are following me, however you live your life, just know that I'm saying you should not give up. Whatever condition it is, don't give up. It will only get better. It can never get worse. Thank you so much, my friends, for hanging out with me. I appreciate this time. Please remember to share this video. Remember to share this video. So if at the end of the day I'm not able to get suggestions on how to make sure the 5 people I'll be giving the 2K to students, I may just decide and select 5 people. But if you have a way to, if you can suggest to me how to do this, I will really appreciate it. But know that I will see. So what I can do is what I don't see. So whatever I see on this page, I will make sure I do it. I also remember the competition, the task I gave last time. So like, I've not given up. So many people have taken it upon themselves to share my page, even without, they know that like they are not looking for money. I see mothers, I see fathers, and I'm like, oh my God, why are these mothers supporting me like this? Why are these fathers? These people are not expecting my money. I know this deep down in me. I really appreciate this. It's like I love it. You're helping me do what I love doing. You're helping me live the life I want to live. It's beyond money, but it's beyond a calling. It's beyond what I think I owe my society. It's beyond a way I feel I can show gratitude to God for all He has done for me. So if you are taking it upon yourself to share this page, know that God will bless you. So that competition is still on, and by Friday, like I said, we will be getting to know the people who will be going home with 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira, and of course 1,000 naira. But for today also, 5 people will be getting 2,000 naira, and these 5 people, I want them to be undergraduate students. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I don't want to prolong this video. God bless you all, and I love you all.